I'm sorry for being away for so long in this vloggy type thing. Um, Majorly my problem is I don't have any inspiration to do these things. But I'm currently here because I have some interesting topics that I would like to discuss. Now, the sound may or may not be different. I'm going to debate on whether to use the Yeti microphone or the really crappy microphone on the camera. Now, if I use the Yeti, the sound's going to be a little quieter. If I use the really crappy microphone on the camera, you'll be able to hear me, but you'll also be able to hear like everything else on the face of the earth. I need to find a setup that works with the Yeti a bit better than the one I have. But, yeah, I just crawled out of bed, so I'm quite tired. I went to Calgary Comic Expo on Sunday. It was probably the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. Most spontaneous thing. I won't get into it. Yeah. Anyways, I bought a few things there. I bought this. I also bought a creeper wallet. And, my prized possession from that show. I bought this. Now, I love it. It's an ash hat, not specifically the one from the first season. It's a little different, but it's signed too by the one and only Veronica Taylor, who did the original Ash's voice, which made me nerd out quite a bit. I knew she was going to be there, I just didn't think I'd nerd out that much. So yeah, that was pretty much my whole weekend. I saw a voice actor panel, got in a little late. Luckily, they didn't catch us on camera sneaking in, so that's nice. I also saw the X-Files panel. That was huge. Though I did fail to get any more autographs, so I did fail in that aspect. But, it's amazing. I hopefully can get out to go next year as well. So, if I do, that will be fun. It's one of those things that I didn't think I'd enjoy as much as I did. It was bloody amazing. All the people were so nice. The staff were friendly. Well, the volunteers, I guess. The stars were nice. I just didn't expect it. I have a little bit of gas right now in the mouth, belching. But yeah, I loved it there. It was like where I belong. So, Calgary Comic Expo, that was the whole, deal with the weekend. I've been gone for almost a week now, mostly due to lack of motivation and work. Work really uninspires you, especially when you work at Walmart like I do. It sucks. But at the same time, I deal with it. So, now there's this huge controversial thing going on in the internet right now. There's a company that came out with a game called Game Dev Tycoon. Basically, it's like, Roller Coaster Tycoon, but you make a game and you sell it. And if sales are good, you make more money. If sales are bad, then you go bankrupt. I mostly go bankrupt. I gotta stick with what I know, sports simulation games. But, the whole thing sparked some controversy when the developers released a version on torrent sites that if you downloaded it, the farther you progress in the game, the more pirates, and eventually the game becomes unplayable because you lose because pirates are pirating your game. Now this is brought to attention, and they brought up some statistics, I'll do that first, that 93% of all the people who've played that game and own it pirated it. And it brought up a lot of controversy because people are saying it shows how bad the market is, how developers struggle, etc., etc. And I don't think that is right to assume. I don't think the company had the right idea releasing their game for pirates. One, it's encouraging people to pirate it, falsely leading them into a trap. And two, that probably artificially boosted their numbers quite a bit. So it's kind of one of those things like, it's a good game. People love it. Scored really well in reviews. But the problem with it right now is that most people pirated it, so no one can play it. And the developers just kind of laughing at people who are complaining on their website about it not working and how the pirates are ruining it. And they're like, this should teach you a lesson not to pirate our games. Well, you're the one who encouraged it. There are reasons. I think if you don't want your game pirated, create DRM, Digital Rights Management. Basically, it controls who can play that game. If you pirated a game, you can't play it because the DRM prevents you from it. People are like, it's controversial. It breaches our rights. It kind of does, but buying the game, you pretty much agree to the terms of use that you would allow them to. And at the same time, people want good games to be made. Well, don't cut the developers' money by pirating. But I don't think that pirating has as big of effect as people do. Like, the used game market, I think, has a bigger effect on games than pirating does. And I'm kind of split on this whole situation where people are like, pirating are the most horrible people on the face of the earth. You know what? I will admit I've pirated a few games in my life. I've ended up buying them afterwards because I enjoyed them so much. And if you like something, give the developer money. If it was a free game, I would have given the developer a donation. That's how much I like those games. And I've bought all the DLC for them. I haven't pirated any games for years now. I have the money to buy games mostly now, so it's why pirate when I can just buy them if I don't like it? It's my mistake, right? But people seem to think that everyone who pirates games will buy it if they like it. That's not true. A lot of people who pirate games just don't want to buy it. But when you release it for free, you're inviting a lot more people to pirate it. Especially when you release it on torrent websites. And it's just one of those things, it's like, if you don't want people pirating your game, create the DRM. Or, don't release it to pirates. At the same time, it's like people are going to pirate it anyways. But people are like, now that we see what happens, it harms the developers. Look at Call of Duty, okay? Call of Duty came out, exact same old crap that they've given us for the past 5 years. That came out and sold record sales. It outsold Titanic and Avatar last year. That $60 a game, let's say, I don't know, 200 million in sales. Do the math on that one. That $60 nowadays is mostly profit for game developers. If they cut the profit out, the game would be maybe $30. So half of it about is profit, going off of what I've been told by some people in the industry. Don't quote me because I might be wrong. You can double check my facts and correct me in the comments below, or send me an angry long message. But 50% of what is on game price is profit. So 30 times 200 million, let's make it more realistic. 60 million copies, okay? I could look up the whole sales. Let's look it up. Okay, so $1 billion in the first 15 days of sale. That is a lot of money. That's more than any independent developer is going to have, but that is the amount of money we're looking at from people who didn't pirate Call of Duty. Now, if you factor in how many people did pirate it, they'd probably have maybe $1 billion and $200 million. Like, thinking about it logically, pirating really only affects independent developers when they make the wrong choices like this developer did. And now they're whining about it. They shouldn't be whining about it when they encouraged it in the first place. That's pretty much what gets my blood boiling. So yeah, that's pretty much my whole opinion. I'm not going to rant any longer because it probably didn't make any sense. But, yeah. Pretty much my whole day, actually. I went to that. have a week off for a wedding that I'm going to on Saturday, but I took a week off because I've been stressed out. I haven't been sleeping lately. I haven't had any inspiration. I haven't been right. I haven't felt properly. I'm 19. I feel like I'm going through like midlife crisis or something. So I've just taken a week off. Calgary Comic Expo really helped, and now it's just time to just think, work on small projects that I have sitting about, and just get my life back on track, I guess. So yeah, I will see you guys. Today is Wednesday. I shall see you guys maybe tomorrow at the latest Friday. Yeah, maybe tomorrow at the latest Friday. Well, have a great day. I'll see you guys soon.